Welcome back, everybody. IGN Live at E3. I'm Damon Hatfield. It's time to take a look at one of the big surprises at the Microsoft conference, Metro Exodus. John Block is executive producer on the game. John, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
And first of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
This is a big reveal of the game here at E3. You've been working on it for a long time.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take a look at the gameplay demo that was shown off at the Microsoft conference, which looks incredible. But first of all, give us a rundown here. This is the third Metro game?
It's the third. Okay. It's the third game in the series.
Yeah.
There was Metro 2033, Metro Last Light, and then we had done a sort of like HD upgrade,
right.
the Redux for both of them.
Yeah.
So this is the third installment in the series. They're all based on the novels by Dmitry Glukhovsky.
Right.
And this one takes the player. You take the role of Artyom again. Artyom's back.
Okay.
So the good ending from Metro Last Light is the canon ending, or the one where he survives. So now he needs to get on a train with a small group of survivors and actually leave Moscow, which is where the other two games have taken place pretty much exclusively.
Hence the title Exodus.
Exodus, yeah. And so you get on a train and go on this epic cross-continental journey to find something new, find something better.
So I played Last Light, but it's been a while. Was that 2010 or 11 when that game was out?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's been a while. This game has been in development for 3 years already,
wow.
We still have a little bit of time left, but it's been the most ambitious project for us at 4A Games.
Yeah,
ever,
well, I mean,
so.
it's certainly looking very nice. I would
Thank
say. So the premise here, this is a post-nuclear meltdown world, right?
Yeah, post-apocalyptic. So basically, in the fiction, in 2013, World War III happens. Everything blows up. The only people in Moscow that survive were able to actually flee down into the metro system, which in real life is actually built as a nuclear fallout shelter for the city.
Yeah.
And you play as Artyom, this guy who was born before everything blew up, but was raised pretty much entirely underground. And so now it's exciting to finally be able to take him outside of the only place that he's known his entire life.
I mean, look at this. Is this what Xbox One X is?
Yes,
like,
this is what the game looks like. This is representative gameplay. This whole trailer was captured from a gameplay sequence at the end of a level, towards later on in the game. And the only thing that we've done to this, for the purposes of a trailer, is shorten the sequence, remove HUD, take out QuickTime prompts, things like that. But this is what the game looks like. I
mean, I play a lot of games, and I often think, well, games look great now. I don't know that I really need to get into 4K gaming. But when I see this, if this is the promise, then I start to understand.
Yeah. And for the Xbox One X, we are targeting 4K HDR, so it's going to look amazing.
Great. So these are first-person shooters with a big survival element. Is that accurate?
Yeah. So we would call it, I guess, we've been calling it survival horror in the past. This one, in particular, we're introducing these new non-linear levels. In the past, the Metro games have always been pretty linear, story-driven. This one's still story-driven, and we do still have the classic linear Metro levels, but we also have introduced new levels like this one that are non-linear, a lot larger, and it's kind of more, we're calling it like sandbox survival.
Interesting.
So
are you building in more things for people to do? Is there any sort of crafting or loot systems, anything like that?
The weapon systems in the past, we've had very kind of basic capabilities to upgrade the weapons in the past, but in this game we've overhauled that whole system. As you can see in the beginning of the trailer, Artyom swaps out the magazine type from like a 3-round revolver, like a cylinder, to a high capacity magazine, and that's just a little taste of what we've done to the weapon systems. In addition, the amount of content that we've put into these non-linear levels, we want the player to explore and really enjoy and immerse themselves in the world.
And what's the story with the creatures or the monsters that we fight? Are these former animals that we would recognize that have been mutated?
Potentially, yes. I mean, like at the end there's the bear, and you saw the wolves as well.
Yeah.
Underground, there was a mutated creature we call the Watchman, which it has elements of certain animals you can see, but maybe we're not so sure what it came from. But all of them are mutated from something that existed before.
I see. That little slice of game that you're showing is very cool. Is that from early on in the game, or can you tell us?
No, it's from a sequence at the end of a level that's later on in the game. One of the whole story of the game takes place over a year, and you'll see all 4 seasons. It's another new thing that we're doing in Exodus, where in the past it's always been winter. It's always been cold.
Yeah.
And because there's just like a permanent nuclear winter in Moscow, but now we'll get to see different environments over different seasons. This one in particular is in autumn.
I see. So our overall goal is to escape, leave Moscow.
Yeah,
that's right. Is there a main antagonist, bad guy, so to speak?
So we're not getting too much into the details of the story. We're kind of just setting the premise now for everybody to understand, and then we'll get into those details later.
Yeah. Well, the game is looking very impressive.
Thank you.
It must be exciting for you, been working on it for so long to
Yeah.
actually get it out there. So, like, you appear you're there at the Microsoft press conference. You showed off, and do you breathe a sigh of relief, or then are you nervous about what people think?
It's been I mean the response we've seen online, when we're not talking to people about it, we're all glued to our phones checking checking the internet for the responses, and it's been really overwhelming. We're really grateful for the fan reaction. It's been overwhelmingly positive, and it's from the moment we saw it up there on the screen at the Microsoft conference, our hearts have been pumping, and we've been smiling. It's so awesome to be able to finally talk about it.
Can you talk about some of the cool technical stuff you're able to do now that you weren't before? I really liked the sequence there where you just lit the lighter and was able to burn away the fumes.
Yeah, well, I mean that sequence visually has been overhauled for Metro Exodus, but you were able to do that in previous games. But there's all the mechanics and features for gameplay that have been in previous Metro games. We didn't want to remove any of them when we were thinking about how to introduce the new non-linear gameplay style, and so all the features that were in the game before are still there, and then we've added more. I mean, even like the gas mask you see here, he's taking it off because he's able to actually breathe outside in this environment. But the gas mask features are all still there. We've added some more elements to the gas mask gameplay, but it's still there the way that it's been with filter management. You have to change your filters out.
Yeah, can you actually? I don't think we've actually touched on that. That's a major feature of these games, right? Because when you're underground, the air is toxic.
Yeah, and some places above ground will not be, like this particular area, but then there are some places where it will be. You have to find filters, change them out. Your watch has a timer that relates to the filters, and it tells you how much time you have left. And if you don't find enough filters, if you don't manage them properly, you could run out of filters and suffocate.
Is the crossbow a new toy?
So the crossbow is actually, we did have a crossbow-style weapon in previous games, but it's been redesigned. One of the things that Prof, our creative director, has worked really hard on for this game with our weapons team is redesigning the weapons to make sure that they are as mechanically sound as they possibly could be. Almost all the weapons are kind of cobbled together, like handmade weapons, made from parts and different things that they find in the world, because there are no weapon manufacturers still making stuff. So people kind of have to make their own weapons and equipment. And in the past we've had weapons that looked like they could function, but this time we took a lot of extra time and care to make sure that while maybe we're not actually building them to test them out, they in theory mechanically are sound and should work.
I seem to remember ammo being somewhat scarce, which would make sense, this being a post-apocalyptic world. Is that sort of like a feeling of tenseness that you're trying to create for the player?
Yeah. There's a number of things that we're constantly trying to do to keep the player on edge and make them feel like the immersion level in Metro games has always been incredible, and the atmosphere is so thick. Like you really feel like you're there, and you're constantly struggling to survive and having to manage resources, and so it's we use it for pacing and for keeping the player involved, and like you really need to look around and explore the environment and find the things that you need in order to make it through.
Sure. Well, once again, congratulations on the reveal. The game looks very impressive. Is Metro Exodus an Xbox exclusive?
No.
Okay.
Metro Exodus will be coming out on the entire Xbox One family, PS4, and PC in 2018.
2018?
Yes.
Okay. John, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thanks.
Stay tuned. So much more to come here on IGN Live at E3 after this.